What's going on, guys? So I just want to make a really quick video about some news that I saw BatmanNews.com posting about, and it was just two things that were very interesting to me. The first one being that Zack Snyder has removed all his Justice League stuff from his Twitter account. What I mean by that is if you look at his Twitter account right now, he has went back to a photo of himself and a green plain banner, which I think is like what, Twitter actually just gives you. And it's very interesting because if I'm not mistaken, before he had a Justice League logo for his photo. It might have just been Justice League, and then the banner I think was Justice League related. And now that's gone. Now that doesn't really mean anything. They could be getting ready for some rebranding because San Diego Comic-Con is right around the corner. I'm not too sure if he's going to be there. I don't think he is, but it is very possible that maybe they're going to release some new stuff and he's just going to throw that up there the moment like it goes on. Or could it be worse and meaning that Zack Snyder is no longer a part of Justice League? Which would totally suck because if you guys don't know, recently the reason why Zack Snyder is no longer a part of Justice League is he stepped down to go ahead and mourn or take the time he needed to, handle some tragic situations that happened in his life with his daughter passing away. So that's why he stepped down, and Joss Whedon has stepped in to finish the project. Now, a lot of people said that he was already tied on, like Zack Snyder told him, he's like, hey man, can you come on and kind of write up some new scenes, I guess to make the movie flow a little bit more. But a lot of behind the pictures have kind of shown that Joss isn't just filming some little things. Like, I'm talking about, apparently he's filming some massive, reshoots that are getting people like, oh shit, these aren't just little scenes. Like, maybe Joss Whedon is doing a little bit more than we really think on Justice League. And if that's the case, does it mean that Zack Snyder is no longer the actual director of Justice League? Now, I'm not a pro when it comes to Hollywood, but I've heard that it is very rare that there are two names on a big budget movie. Like, it's usually there's one director, unless you have like the Russo brothers or the Wachowskis. Like, it usually related or like a very close team works together to get that director spot. But usually Hollywood does not do co-directors. So I don't think we're gonna see Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon as directors. So I'm very curious to see if this is actually going to be a Zack Snyder directed movie or a Joss Whedon directed movie. It's going to be very interesting, and recently I had just read an article about this kind of thing with the whole Han Solo movie that was going on. The directors that were originally tied to that, which were the directors of 21 Jump Street, they had filmed a lot of the movie already. I think they were like halfway done, and they just they parted ways with Disney due to creative differences, and Ron Howard has came in to finish the movie. But a lot of people are like, all right, well, who's getting credit? Like, is it going to be Ron Howard or is it going to be these other guys? So I wonder if that's going to be the same kind of situation with Justice League and with, I don't know, is this maybe Zack Snyder kind of low-key giving us some information, like, I'm no longer a part of that project, it's going to be Joss Whedon's film, he's finishing it up, he's going to get credit. That's going to be, I don't know, that's just very interesting to me, but I'm kind of hoping it's not the case, because that was his movie, it was his vision, unless Joss is just coming in here and trying to change some really big things, which we already saw that when he got rid of Junkie XL and brought in Danny Elfman to do the score of Justice League. So, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, and maybe we'll get some news about Justice League during the San Diego Comic-Con panel that will be happening this upcoming Saturday, and it's also supposed to be dropping a new Justice League trailer. Speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, we expect to get a lot of news about, the DC TV shows and the DCEU, along with everything DC. They're going to drop a lot of stuff this coming week, but the biggest thing, or not the biggest thing, but the one thing I do want to talk about, that they released information today ahead of San Diego Comic-Con, that WB has released 2 new dates in 2020 of 2 new upcoming superhero movies, or superhero movies that will happen in that year is what I should say. Those dates being February 14th, 2020, Valentine's Day, and June 5th, 2020, and now we gotta take a guess at what freaking movies are gonna be on these dates. And BatmanNews.com actually thinks that it's gonna be Gotham City Sirens for Valentine's Day and Wonder Woman for the June 5th, 2020. Now, I totally agree with him on the June 5th, 2020, because that's pretty much the same date for this Wonder Woman that just passed. I believe it went live on the 3rd or something like that, and Wonder Woman Day's right there in that same vicinity, so like DC can now promote Wonder Woman Day every day now for the rest of time if they want to, and then when, you know, another June 5th movie comes out, it'll be Wonder Woman again, and hopefully Wonder Woman can dominate the summer like she has this year. So I would not be surprised if at San Diego Comic-Con they announce that that June 5th, 2020 date is for Wonder Woman 2, and they probably will announce that Patty Jenkins is actually signed on. I'm hoping, because I don't think that movie does as well if she's not the director of that movie. But as for the Valentine's Day 2020, Batman News says that he thinks it will be like Gotham City Sirens because it feels like they could do some really fun marketing with that. And I agree with that. They could do some really amazing marketing with Valentine's Day, a movie about 3 beautiful women villains, you know, wanting to maybe steal your heart or something. I feel like they'll probably do some silly marketing with that. But at the same time, they could do some really cool stuff the way Deadpool did for the whole Valentine's Day thing, and maybe that's what DC's thinking about. So I can agree with it with being Gotham City Sirens, but I figure, I don't know if that movie's gonna take that long to come out, although that's only 3 years from now, so maybe it will. I don't really know. I felt like Gotham City Sirens would be like a 2019 movie, but I guess it could be 2020. I do think Batgirl will be 2019, so it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens at San Diego Comic-Con, and if they actually bring out a new release schedule of like, these are going to be our movies now, these are the dates, or if we're kind of just low-key get some trailers, some footage of Aquaman and stuff like that. We're just going to have to wait and see, guys. It's going to be really exciting to see what happens at San Diego Comic-Con. I am going to try to stay up to date and try to keep all of you guys up to date on whatever information I hear. I'll be there enjoying the con myself, but at the same time, I'm going to kind of be low-key working and be like, oh my god, I gotta let everybody know. Definitely do check out my Twitter and Instagram in case you want to keep up to date on all the news that is happening. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on this video in the comment sections down below. Don't forget, if you ever want to support this channel, you can check out the Patreon like these awesome people did, or you can do the OG thing and give this video a like and share it with all of your DCEU buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. If I have a daily dose of juice, see you guys next time. Bye.